Today I'm going to be talking about independent t-tests and how to perform them in SPSS. An independent t-test measures the differences between means, between independent variables and dependent variables. For your independent variable, it can be a nominal group that has two unrelated groups. Your dependent variable can either be ratio or interval. So my research question for my independent t-test is, are there any differences in BMI for students who said they vomited or used laxatives to either lose weight or to keep from gaining weight versus students who said they did not? My two variable questions for my research question are question 67 and question 99. So first you go to Analyze, and we're comparing means, so we go to Compare Means. Then we want to perform an independent t-test. So we click Independent Samples t-test. Here it asks for a test variable and a grouping variable. And remember I said that the independent variable is a nominal variable that has two unrelated groups. So these are the groups that SPSS is referring to. And the test variable, you can think of it as your dependent variable. So SPS also wants you to define your groups because it doesn't know. It knows that it has two groups, but it wants you to tell it what are these groups. So before you come here, we can go to question 67 and we can click over here to see how were the questions coded for. So 1 is yes and 2 is no. So that is how we're going to tell SPS to define this group. And this was here, but just to show you, just type in 1 and then type in 2 and hit continue. Then we hit OK to get our output. And here is our output. So remember again, we're comparing means. And we want to know, is there really a difference between the two groups? So first, you go to your p-value that is located under Levene's. And our p-value is 0.632, and that is greater than 0.05. So since it is larger, and Levene's is measuring standard deviation, is measuring the variance. Are there equal variance or is there not equal variance? And since our p-value is larger than 0.05, then that means we can assume equal variance. So therefore, for the rest of the output, we're going to read the top row. So next you go to the p-value that's under your t-test for equality of means. And our p-value is 0.010, and that is larger than 0.05. So since it is larger, then that means that there is no statistically significant difference. So these means, in essence, are the same. So then you will be able to stop because you have answered your research question. There are no differences between the two groups. However, just to give you an example, if our p-value located here was less than 0.05, then you would come back to your means and you would compare your means. Which group is larger? In this case, the group of students who responded yes is larger. And if your p-value was less than 0.05, you would say yes, there are statistically significant differences and that this group is higher than the students who said no. And that is independent samples t-test.